Hello, welcome to your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. A few things before we get started. First, if you have two blocks or two block shaped or block height objects, you can grab those. Um, Second, if you want to follow along with the playlist, that information is down below in the notes. And finally, if you want to donate in order to keep these classes going on YouTube, that information is also below, and that is greatly appreciated for everyone who donates. Let's get started. I'm going to sit down. You can find a comfortable seat for yourself, allowing hands to fall to the knees, and just taking a few deep breaths here. Finding the earth beneath you, finding the crown of the head floating high. So in the Yoga Sutras, the very first of the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali says, now begins the practice of yoga. So it might seem pretty obvious, right? Like now we're beginning yoga. But if we think about it a little bit more, we can imagine Patanjali is summoning us, is calling us into this moment, into now. Now is an opportunity to reconnect. Now is an opportunity to rediscover. Now begins our practice of yoga. And we can imagine that it's a call to now. Yeah, that everything we've done in our lives, everywhere we've been, everything we've done has brought us to this moment, to now. And we're perched on the edge, ready to step into that practice of yoga, that practice of deeper understanding. And seeing if we can keep that in mind as we go through our practice today. That idea of finding ourselves right now, in each moment. The hands can find a prayer at the heart. And we'll begin our practice with one Om, breathing in deeply. With a breath in, the eyes can gently float open. And we'll send the legs out in front of us. Stretching the legs long, even give them a little shake out here if that feels good. And taking the hands next to us, pressing down into the palms, rooting down, feeling the crown of the head getting a little bit lighter for a Dandasana, staff pose. Gently taking the fingertips back behind the hips, we'll slide the heels in toward the bum and gently lifting one foot and the other foot up to knee height. For a moment in Navasana, or a little baby Navasana. Exhale, gently releasing, and we'll crawl out onto hands and knees. Once we're on all fours, wrists right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. On a breath in, stretching the left foot back and sweeping the heel to hip height. Exhale, drawing knee to the nose, rounding the spine. Left heel back, reaching the heart forward, breathing in. Knee to the nose, drawing it in, exhaling. One more time, left heel back, heart forward. This time, gently lowering the toes down behind us. We'll slide the left foot to the outside of the mat, pressing the sole of the foot down. And with an inhale, we rise up, sending the arms to the sky. On an exhale, the left arm slides down the left leg, reaching up and over to the side of our mat for our gate pose. On a breath in, arms sweeping back up to the sky, gently lowering the hands down under the shoulders. With an inhale, left arm to the sky, gazing up toward the fingertips. And with an exhale, sliding the left arm under the right arm. Maybe the elbow comes down, maybe the shoulder comes down. Maybe the side of the face softens down to the mat. Pressing into the right hand, unraveling, stretching the left arm back up to the sky, and gently lowering the hand down under the shoulder. Breathing in, sliding the left foot forward and letting the hands frame that left foot. Feel free to scooch the back knee back a little bit to widen the shape if that feels good. Pressing into the left foot, arms forward and up, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Big breath in here. With an exhale, gently releasing the hands down. This might be a great place to find the two blocks and place them under the shoulders. Pressing into the blocks or the floor, letting the heart rise off of the left knee. And with an exhale, we shift back, maybe bringing the blocks back with us, flexing the foot and letting the head release. On a breath in, we crawl back forward, rebending that left knee. Feel free to move the blocks out of the way, tucking the right toes, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Take a moment to shift, to open up this downward facing dog. Maybe treading through the heels here. Big breath in. And with an exhale, finding a breath of stillness. Inhaling, exhaling. It's a plank pose as we breathe in, shoulders right over the wrists. And it's a child's pose, melting hips back to the heels. Exhaling. Right away, rising up onto all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And with a breath in, right foot floats back, sending it up to hip height. Exhale, knee to the nose, pressing the floor away with the hands. Inhale, right heel back, heart reaching forward. Exhale, knee to nose, curling it in. Last time, right foot reaches back, breathing in. Exhale, gently bringing the toes down to the earth behind us. On an inhale, the right leg slides out to the right, bringing it about in line with the left knee. And with an inhale, we rise up, arms to the sky, breathing in. Exhaling, right hand down the right leg, tilting over, opening the left ribs for our gate pose. One more breath. Inhale, sending the arms back up to the sky. Exhale, hands coming down under the shoulders. Breath in, right arm stretches up, gazing toward the right fingers. And with an exhale, right arm under the left, finding a twist, maybe elbow down, maybe shoulder down, maybe side of the face finds the earth. Rooting into that right pinky toe, finding your anchor. Unraveling, sending the right arm back up to the sky. And with a breath out, right hand comes down. We slide the right foot forward and frame the foot with the two hands. Feel free to adjust in that back leg if it feels more comfortable. Rooting into the sole of the right foot, arms high, breathing in. On an exhale, hands come down, maybe taking those props under the shoulders. Rooting into the blocks or into the floor, finding an opening through the chest. And with a breath out, we shift the hips back, lengthening the right leg, flexing through the toes, letting the head bow forward. Breathing in, coming back forward, low lunge, moving the blocks out of the way. We step back, downward facing dog, exhaling. Rolling out long to a plank pose, breathing in. Gently lowering the knees, pointing the toes, elbows hug in as we lower down to the earth. Shoulders slide down the back, heart reaches forward, baby cobra pose. And then traveling back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big breath in here, filling up through the backs of the lungs. And with an exhale, softening the knees, we'll take a walk to the top of the mat. Taking your time, soft through the knees, heavy through the head. Big breath in here. With an exhale, letting the knees soften, tailbone lowers, and we roll up to stand. Arms sweep to the sky, finding a high prayer, breathing in. And our hands move through the heart. We find our Tadasana, mountain pose, exhaling. With an inhale, left leg reaches toward the knee. Knee reaches toward the chest. Arms float toward the sky. With an exhale, shifting the left foot back. Arms back, heart forward. Warrior 3. Reaching back through the center of the left heel, forward through the crown of the head, softening the right knee. We touch the left toes down, high lunge. Feeling both the big toe and the pinky toe of that left foot rooting down. Exhaling, hands touch down, downward facing dog, breathing out. Rolling out to a plank pose, big breath in. Elbows draw in, we lower all the way down to the belly. Heart reaches forward, baby cobra, or maybe a little bit taller. Downward facing dog, floating the hips high. Breathing in, right foot stretches high. Exhale, foot stepping between the hands. Left foot forward, lengthening the spine. Breathing in. Exhale, big fold, letting the head release. Arms sweeping to the sky, high prayer. Breath in. Hands move through the heart, Tadasana, exhaling. Right knee rises, knee to the chest, arms to the sky. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 3, right heel back, heart reaches forward. Feel that right pinky toe spiraling down toward the mat. And with an exhale, touching the right toes down, arms float high for our high lunge. Feel free to soften the back knee, create a little bit more space. Exhaling, hands to the mat, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Breathing in, rolling out long to a plank. Lowering all the way down or halfway down, your choice. Up dog or cobra, heart stretching forward. Exhaling, downward facing dog, hips high. Left foot stretches up and back, breathing in. Foot steps softly between the hands, exhaling. Right foot forward, find a gentle lift through the heart. Exhale, releasing, heavy head. Arms sweeping high, big breath in. Hands through the heart, Tadasana, exhaling. Utkatasana, hips back, sweeping the heart and the arms up. And with an exhale, we bow, hands to the earth, heavy head. Lengthening the spine, big breath in. Bending the knees, planting the palms. You can step to plank or you can hop right back to Chaturanga. Heart stretches forward, breathing in. We meet back, downward facing dog, exhaling. Breath in, right foot reaches back and up. Exhaling, foot between the hands for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Left heel down, arms at windmill open. Left outer hip drawing toward the midline. On a breath in, pressing into the right foot, lengthening the right leg, maybe walking the back foot in a step as we shift into a triangle pose. Right hand to the shin, floating the left arm high. Finding that spiral, heart towards fingertips, breathing in. Exhale, right knee bends, elbow to the thigh, left arm long over the ear. Extended side angle, feeling the reach through the entire left side body. Exhaling, left hand, left hip. Walking the right fingertips forward, maybe taking the hand onto our block as we shift into half moon pose. Finding the spiral, right ribs up into the left ribs, breathing in. Stepping all the way back, landing in Warrior 2, exhaling. Flipping the palms, peaceful warrior, right arm reaches high. Hands cartwheel down, take it back, plank pose to lower. Heart sweeps forward, breath in, downward facing, breath out. Left foot back and up, inhaling. Stepping forward for Warrior 2, root it down, open it wide. Feeling as that right hip moves toward the midline, The left ribs also moving toward the midline. Pressing into the sole of the left foot, lengthening the left leg, maybe walking the back foot in a step as we shift to Triconasana, triangle pose. Very light on that left hand. It's just there as a little guidance. Exhale, left knee bends. Elbow finds the thigh as the right arm reaches long. Extended side angle. Heart spiraling up past the armpit. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand to right hip. Left fingers walk forward to the floor or maybe to one of your blocks. Shifting right leg back, right fingers to the sky. Half moon. Wide through the heart space. Exhale, big step back, warrior two, landing softly. Flipping the palms, peaceful, left arm high. Exhale, hands cartwheel down. We step back through plank and lower. Pulling the heart forward, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Big breath here, inhaling. Exhaling. Softening the knees. Looking forward, stepping or hopping the feet to the top of the mat. Long spine, breath in. Big exhale to release, forward fold. Arms stretching to the sky, big breath in here. Hands connect at the heart and we find Tadasana, mountain pose. With a breath in, left knee to the chest, arms floating to the sky. And then with an exhale, we stretch the left foot forward. Reaching the left big toe out and away. One more inhale here. Keep the right arm lifted as the left knee bends, hugging that left heel in toward the bum. Inner thighs tight, tailbone reaching down, pubic bone drawing up toward the navel. Feel free to stay with the hand on the outside or switch to hand on the inside. Left foot into left hand as we shift forward for our Natarajasana, dancer pose. Right foot rooting down, we rise up, feet together, arms high. Exhale, big dive over the legs, forward fold. Sending the hands forward, you can find blocks under those hands. And just like when we were preparing for our dancer pose, draw the left the left heel in toward the bum. On an exhale, see if you can find a forward fold. Maybe hands come down to the earth. Maybe it feels better to keep the blocks under the hands. One more big breath in here in our perch pose. On an exhale, bending both knees. Let it get really small. Left hand under the face, either on the floor or on a block, and everything expands. Left leg back, right arm to the sky for our rotated half moon pose. Breathing in. Exhale, right hand to the mat, stepping the left foot all the way back, lowering the back knee, releasing the toes. Sweeping the arms forward and up, low crescent lunge. Exhale, gently releasing the hands, finding the blocks under the hands. Pressing into those two blocks, just like earlier, lifting through the heart. Now we'll stay here, tucking the back toes under. And we'll take a little walk, bringing the blocks back a step, and then inchworming the left leg back. Blocks back, inchworming the left leg back. And taking that a few times, maybe those right toes start to flex. Maybe you adjust the blocks, keeping the blocks under the shoulders until you find yourself in your Hanumanasana. Seeing if you can find some softness around the elbows. 2 more big breaths here. And then rooting into those two blocks, we'll start to inchworm back toward our right leg. It might take a little bit longer to get there. And eventually the weight will come back into the sole of that right foot. We'll move the blocks forward and we'll step back, plank, lowering, breathing out. Heart forward, breath in. Down dog, breath out. One big breath here. Softening the knees, looking toward the fingers, step, step, or float to the top of the mat. Long spine, inhaling. Big exhale as we fold. Arms high, inhaling. Hands find the heart, breath out. Arms to the sky, right knee floats up toward the chest. And we push the foot away into the space in front of us. One more big inhale here. Keeping the left arm lifted, bending the right knee, and we catch the foot, drawing knees together, inner thighs together, heel in toward the bum. Feel free to stay here or switch the grip, holding on into the inner ankle. And with an exhale, foot might float into that right hand. Shifting the heart forward, shifting the weight toward the left toes. Breath in, rising back up, feet together, arms toward the sky. Exhale, bowing forward, Uttanasana. Rising onto the fingertips, maybe taking those blocks under the hands for a little bit more space, and drawing the right heel again in toward the bum. On an exhale, folding forward, maybe hands stay on the blocks. Maybe they shift toward the earth for our perch pose. Yeah, we're perched right on the edge, about to start. On an exhale, softening everything, both knees in, right hand under the face, floor or a block. Inhale, expanding everything away from the center. Rotated half moon pose. Big inhale. Exhale, top hand down. We step all the way back. Low lunge. Bringing the back knee down, lowering the toes, sweeping the arms high. Breath in. Exhaling, hands come down. Take the blocks under the shoulders. Pressing into those blocks, finding a gentle lift through the heart. And on an exhale, tucking the back toes, we start to inchworm back. Back leg, two arms. Back leg, two arms. Maybe we start to flex the front toes. Maybe we start to shift the blocks lower as we move into our split, our Hanumanasana. Now, where can we find a little bit of softness? Right here. Each breath, an opportunity to reconnect, to begin again, right now. And using the blocks, we'll start to inchworm our way back in. Hands and back leg, hands and back leg. Take your time. It can definitely take some time to bring the weight back onto the left foot. We'll move the blocks out of the way and we'll step back to a downward facing dog. Big breath in to float out long to a plank pose. And with an exhale, we lower all the way down to the belly. Rolling over onto the back. Soles of the feet on the earth. Arms out wide into a T shape. Give the knees a soft sway from one side to the other. Exhaling, both knees melting over to the left side of the mat. And head turning to the right for a soft reclined twist. Feel free to let the gaze soften. Maybe the eyes float closed. Inhaling, feet to the floor, knees back through center, and knees shifting to the right, head turning to the left. With a breath in, we draw the knees back through center, feet onto the mat. Drawing the knees in close, giving a little hug. Releasing the head onto the mat, bringing the soles of the feet to touch, letting the knees wing out wide. And we'll bring the hands to the outsides of the pinky toes, kind of butterflying the feet here in a variation of a reclined goddess pose. Seeing if the shoulders can soften onto the mat. Maybe with an exhale, we draw the nose up toward the knees. And then gently releasing the head back down to the earth behind us. Drawing the knees in, and again, hugging those knees in. We'll lift the nose toward the knees. Hug in tight to a little ball. Take a big breath in here, filling up the lungs. And with an exhale, releasing Shavasana. Arms out long, legs out long. And just taking a few moments here, allowing the practice to settle into the body. Empirically speaking, there is no such thing as history, destiny, and even future for that matter. What there really is the now. This very moment is the only thing you have now in your hands. In fact, it is the only time that actually exists. The now. From Abhijit Naskar. And now begins our practice of yoga. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Feel free to let the mouth open, take a little sigh. You can find a little movement in the fingers and the toes. And gently allowing the knees to bend, the feet to step onto the earth. And rolling yourself softly onto the right side. And taking your time to come up to sit. Hands connecting at the heart and finding a prayer. And we'll seal our practice with Om, Breathing in deeply. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.